Hello lurkers, and hello you archaeologists, I'm the John Schluck, welcome to the proximity. I'm having 0 parades for Dead Spies adventure. I've had a pretty weird day. It is, in the UK, there's been a heat wave, hottest on record for this part of the year, but it didn't affect me, because just where I am in the UK had cool winds on that day, but today was hotter. Not that hot though. I picked up this as if it would do... Oh no, it does do something in this game. Now, that didn't really affect my day. What did affect my day was that... my hair looks silly. That affects my day. What does affect my day is that the train was cancelled. Or at least it was going to be like considerably late. And I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to switch days, because that's always annoying as fuck. It just makes everything completely go out of sync in my day. And then I decided to book a day off, because that way I get to eat my HelloFresh meal. There's reasons. And I was like, cool, I should do something with this day. I'll do a little bit of programming, and I'll do some gaming. You'll note it's 6 o'clock, the time my job would have ended anyway, and I've only just started streaming. So I got a very weird problem happened with my program. I did something, so the ball rolls in all 4 directions, and if you reset it, it goes wonky. And I was like, oh, that's a fun error. I'll turn the reset off and see how that works. And I couldn't find any instance of resetting in my code at all. And it's one of those things where I'm like, oh, it's probably somewhere. No, it's in the. I've only got 6 scripts. It's just in one line of code. Control F. Like, it's when I press the R key it happens. It's just no instance of the R key in my code. Nothing to indicate that would reset. And I'm like, fine, I'll put it on, I'll get the AI. I'll just find fucking AI on the internet, and I'll just give them all the scripts and be like, where in my code is it doing it? And they're all complete. I waste fucking hours. I use multiple, because I'm just like, just find me what's wrong. I eventually I give up and ask Reddit. And they're like, is your input manager on both? And I'm like, okay, I'll put it on new. It's definitely not a wrong reference in the input manager, because I looked through every single goddamn one. But I'll put it on just new, because that's something I didn't try. But when I did that, and I ran the code, there was an error. And of course there's an error. My input system's changed, and I knew there'd be an error there. And then it points me to a line of code, which would explain the reset immediately. But it wasn't there. It was... The code was invisible until that happened. And I think I know how that happened. Because you can do stuff to the files, and Unity won't know you've done that. Or VS Code in this case. So it will run the code, but I won't see the code. And I have to assume, if I didn't send all the scripts to AI, I would have thought I was just an idiot and didn't see the line of code, even though it's such an obvious line. It was literally the first place I looked. Oh yeah, it'll be in the board piece script. What's that for? Well, I put it in all the board pieces, because it's things that all the board pieces needs in the board piece script. And it's just there. Just like, yeah, if you press R reset, it's like, it fucking wasn't there a second ago. But yeah, it's solved now. Literally right 10 minutes before I started the stream up, I was like, okay, I'll try one more thing. And that did it. Because changing the input manager, I think, made it recatalog all the files, and then it repaired the script. Anyway, that's never good when I have to waste several hours troubleshooting. I fucking hate troubleshooting. It's fine when you figure something out and you're clever. It's not when you just use stupid AI and you don't use your brain, which is what I should have done. Had I just asked Reddit first, they would have told me exactly the same thing. I would have noticed that error immediately, because it would have redone that. That's all I needed to do. And the AI never does that. It never just says, just do this. It always overthinks problems. But actually, and I will get angry with the code. I'll get angry with it, because it will say, oh yeah, sure, but like, the way you're calculating the grid could cause... It's like... The R button, it has something. Yeah, but it might not be the R button, sure, but I'm still pressing the R button. So And it just kept going around in circles. It's like, I pressed every other button. They do nothing. It is only the R button. And all I needed to say was, hey, have you double checked the integrity of all your files? And I appreciate that once you know the solution to a problem, it's very easy to just say that. But anyway, it's solved now. Let's play some fucking computer games. But I wanted to say, this has been my day. I was gonna do some gardening. Is this the latest one? I don't think anyone was here for my first stream. I played it for 3 hours. By the people who made Disco Elysium, sort of, kind of. That is definitely not the one I want. John, are you fucking blind? Well, I mean, I did miss a completely obvious line of code. No, I did not. It wasn't there. I had to go on Reddit and say, hey, I figured it out. And explain it all, and I put in brackets, feel free to be skeptical of this claim, because I get it. Oh, this dickhead's just blind. The line of code is literally just like, if you press R, resets it. It's like the most one-to-one do this thing bit of code. It wasn't like a subtle bit of code. It was by itself. Like, it was very visible. I assure you, it wasn't there. What are we doing? I know what we're doing. How bizarre. How bizarre. That person has the best bargains. Gesture to the idea of water safety. Agent, yeah. Ominous quantity of tape. Abstract but still humanoid. Who writes these articles? Scandalous.
You! Carmona demands answers.
I don't have answers for you, Carmona.
Carmona saw you scaling that pylon, speaking to the creep at its top. He's been spying on us all, day in, day out. Are you in leagues with him? What is his business?
He's just an angel. I like that he reactively knew that I did that. I think he's more. I would love to say. That's the fun answer. I think he's more concerned with matters of spirit than the flesh. That's. I'll just be on the nose about it. He's just an engineer watching the tram line.
Oh. Well, engineering is good work, proper. Though he doesn't seem to be doing much of it. Carmona knew he was off, but just a slacker all along. Carmona would not take comfort in that. Here.
Cool, that got me a skill point. I did it all backwards.
Some comfort in return.
She's got me some gloves. We'll hold on to the skills, because it seems to still be the best way to play these games. Nerve -1, professionalism +1. Dry old lady hands. I like that it tells you what causes the individual stat change. Yeah, these dry old lady hands give you, you know, they put your nerve down. But that is +1 because you're commanding fingers. +1 statehood. Whereas this is a 0. It's a net 0. So I'll keep them on the gloves, but I appreciate them all the same. Oh, are you so worried about the pylon guy?
Well,
she lowers her voice, hunches forward.
She lowers her voice, hunches forward.
the dock workers suspected they found an agent of the Weeping Eye working right here in the bazaar.
What makes them think that?
Found him taking Lucian money. Carmona doesn't believe it, Domenina. They got the wrong man.
Tell me about the man they accused.
He bought a beautiful coat from Carmuna's stall just last week. A real gentleman. Nobody with the eye could be so polite or have such a good taste in outerwear.
I think I've been told what the eye is, but I've completely fucking forgotten.
The dock workers must have had more information on him. Find out what you can. If there are weeping eye here, you need to know why.
Why do you think the Whipping Eye would be interested in the bazaar?
They're losing many now. Bazaar's full of bootlegs. They're keeping an eye on their wares.
Give it to me straight. Was this coat better than mine?
The one you're wearing? I'm afraid so, Menina.
Describe this coat. It may be warming techno-fascist soldiers' shoulders.
Never. It was a trench coat, multicolored, but predominantly oranges, reds. It recalled the carpet bag of the olden variety.
If I could roll my R's, I'd be doing it constantly as well.
The man in photo 24. Were the weeping eye that close to you already?
Oh, that guy from the start of the game, yes. Well, we're going to have to put our anxiety down again. That is a cold cup of tea.
He was at photo 24 and your double was incapacitated. This is now your prime suspect.
Pretty sure Shadow Play is lying to me, but okay.
And he always had a camera. Ask yourself, Menina. Would a weeping eye man walk around with a camera? Too obvious.
The other lady thought he was a pervert, right? Seen him up close, we can definitely file that coat under questionable.
This is all a matter of taste. I'm not that.
Do you know his name, where he went?
He was like a son to me, Menina. But no, never got his details.
That's all I have to know about that.
Very well.
Is my colleague here, by any chance? Brown jacket, glasses, big into socks.
You're working with that nice boy. He was fine super block suit. I should have known you were cut from the same cow the way you handled that creep. I sent him to the docks west of here. Head boatman there reports directly to the bazaar manager, in charge of imports, exports.
Well, Boatman
Maybe
lied
he
to me.
knows where he went.
So either the boatman was lying, or Pseudopod never made it over to him.
Let's see what you're selling.
Take a look through the rack over there. No lice, no rips, no patches.
You have questions about this place?
This bazaar is always changing. Lots to ask, lots to say. We're in the ruins of a silk numero 3. Burnt down decades ago. But Carmuna still remembers the smell of the flies.
Tell me about how you came to run a store.
Humoring an old woman. Doing your good deed for the day. Buffing up your soul.
She sounds like characters from What We Do in the Shadows. That's the idea. Is it working?
No, Manina. Your soul still looks small and shabby from it. For that, you need the stars. But I'll tell you anyway. It started with the fire in a silk numero 3. Half the city worked for the company, and all of us suddenly out of work. It was very difficult times. But at first it was exciting. The whole city came to watch it burn. We drank, we sobbed. I danced with a soldier boy who I had no intention of marrying. He's dead now. The flames subsided, and we waited like refugees around the cooling break for management to return, rebuild. They never did. So we began to search the ruins, see what we could salvage.
What caused the fire?
They probably did it themselves for the insurance. Or some poor girl finally had a nervous break. Who knows? Carmona has nothing but time, but none for that mystery anymore. Only perhaps to wish it had been me.
Sorry to hear that your soldier died.
It was never mine. Just borrowed him from another. And he's all right, Menina. Drink, work, hard living. We lead difficult lives. We expire.
Sounds like the fire was more of a party than a disaster.
One creates the other, and around they go.
Okay, I'm not going to call that thief. You started by selling salvage then?
Yes. We loaded it up on the cargo boats as if it were dye. The dock workers found buyers, which turned them into smugglers. This area has been a market ever since, though the contents and bosses are changing like the leaves.
Good to know. Thanks, Carmona.
You are most welcome.
What's the statue over there? Point to the statue over there.
Nestor.
Well, that explains who Nestor is.
Sweet Nestor, Portofiro's supreme leader from the years 28 to 80.
That's a fucking long time. What happened in 80?
He fled to an unknown location after being exiled for the third and apparently final time, though a small collection of loyalists await his return.
We used to paint that statue with all sorts of insults when it still stood. We knew slurs you haven't even imagined, Menina. He promised us Nestorismo, a new type of politics, his own invention. A middle ground between the developed world and the superblock.
There can be no middle ground between humanity and capital.
Ah, yes, I remember that one. But Bastardo Nestor thought Portofino could be different.
She jerks her chin over to the statue. Nestor's pond-weed eyes stare up at the sky through a foot of rank canal water.
You see how it went?
Can you tell me more about Kusach?
Kisa,
Kusach.
this is the heart of the city. Ours is the factory and the docks. We are proud, working people. In the sunset, they make money. In Kisak, we make things.
Okay, she sits up straight, doing it.
Back before Silk burned down, that is. But we are still proud, and we still have the docks. Portofino belongs to Kisak.
What's that spacesuit over there?
Another relic of Nestor's idiocy. Don't he go to space? Total disaster. He never really recovered from that one.
I wish it would, like, zoom to the places that we're pointing to.
And
Pan,
for what?
even.
Why go to space? All our stuff is already here.
Dismissing space exploration as a logistical inconvenience.
Everything seems to be Lusian, or pretending to be.
People call it loose mania. The culture blockade was designed to protect the city from loose influence. But of course that just makes it more interesting to these people.
What's this culture blockade?
Imagine a big fake wall around the city. Stops music and film and whatnot from getting through, yes? Except it doesn't work and nobody wants it to. Useless.
Why not just let people have what they want?
That would be a terrifying world, Menina. People want all sorts of nonsense. Just let young people buy their fascist toys and wear their fascist clothes until they realize alone what fools they look.
She leans forwards.
They say all the Lusian ministers are copies of one old philosopher. You know what that really means?
That they're an army of identical fascist philosophers?
No, they claim they are imprints of some high man. Like they have a man copying machine. These are inbreds, man. Ever seen pictures of royal families?
Inbreds, the worst kind of bootleg.
The vendor smushes her face with her hands, pulling at her chin and cheeks to deform them into new and exciting shapes.
That's how they look. Malformed from systemic diddling. Lusians just the same. Mark my words. That's why you never see them.
God, I lost the thread of this conversation a tiny bit. Where can I get a drink?
Fuck the mirror. Not of the bazaar. It don't come back here drunk and stinking on my nice rocks.
Enough bizarre talk for now.
Very good.
Do you know what this is? The red disc.
She looks sideways at the disc, shakes her head.
It's a disc. Ask the stall owner with the disc, not the stall owner with the clothes. Yes? Bazaar's closing soon, Menina. Don't forget to check the racks.
With mismatched clothing on the hangers. Alright, well this dickhead lied to me. I mean, he's still gonna lie. I've got to ask him again.
The smuggler inclines his head in silent recognition.
My colleague was here, wasn't he? You and I already talked about this. I told you he wasn't. People saw you talking to him for quite a while. Either you're lying or Carmona is. I'm going with you. Memory's a little fluid these days. Quick reappraisal of you. Alright, the twitchy communist. Now I have him. Yeah, your colleague was here. As you can see, he isn't now. What did you and my colleague talk about? Socks, mostly. Tilts his head. Not really my province. He was here to broker some kind of trade deal with the bazaar.
Now, stop circling each other. Commit.
No, he wasn't. Then he must have been a spy with the operant bureau. The measured flare of the cigarette smoke from his nose. Like you.
A still moment. From a nearby rooftop, the sound of children playing.
Measured flare of the cigarette smoke from his nose. Oh, he blows smoke out his nose. It sounds dramatic. He's just someone I work with. Okay, let's play it like that. Vague colleagues it is. Anyway, your colleague seemed upstanding, respectful, but I couldn't help him.
End of the line. The pseudopod terminus. He bounced off this man and landed somewhere in oblivion.
Did you give him this? I'll show him the red disc. No. Frowns. What's on it? Some deeply uncomfortable static. Sounds like you've got a bad bootleg. It happens. This is Peter's deal. Petra. He nods to the northeast. Runs the music stall. Unpleasant. Knowledgeable. Why didn't you tell me this the first time I asked? Don't I giving things up first? Shrugs. Policies served me pretty well over the years. Don't take it personal. This gives away information. Was he alright when he was talking to you? With it, mentally? Very much so, probably too with it. Shaking hands, blotching your neck. But he did alright.
A polite round of applause for the support act.
Need to know what my partner wanted. Why was he here? So it's partner now. A crease across his brow. He wanted the same thing as you do. I assume we meet with the boss man.
A face flashes in your mind, unbidden. Heavy-set, boyish grin. Traces of the underworld clinging to him.
And who's the boss man? Tempo del Sur.
Your cerebrospinal fluid turns to liquid refrigerant. Tempo del Sur, mid-tier deity in the local underworld. And once your asset, cryptonym Taxman. Also someone you once called a friend.
He asked for Tempo by name. By name. A colleague was very keen to talk to the boss. I had to turn him away. Unprofessional bonding. Huh. Where can I find Tempo? Bossman is the bazaar. The edge of the smoke. He's everywhere you look. Made my partner go after you turned him away. He came back. Had to turn away 4 times. Smooths back his hair on his temple. After that I lost track of him. But he didn't exactly walk off with purpose.
As the sun smears across rooftops, a man with a briefcase full of carefully folded socks sits on a metal bench. He sits there for a long time, considering the tangle of alleyways that surround him.
Oh, entanglement's awful as well, isn't it? No, it's actually really good. Did he threaten you? No, didn't actively threaten me. Slow drag. Nor did I find him threatening. New Tempo boss man. He runs the bazaar. Yep, the whole kingdom. Sweeps a hand.
Tempo had many criminal-grade contacts in the loose. Probably how he dodged the fallout after your network blew.
Tempo's boss man. Big picture stuff. His new underboss keeps things tight on the ground. Underboss. Teenage girl, 16, maybe 17, but knows the score. He smirks. Promising young bootlegger. Hope it's Cindy the fucking Scar. Okay, it's not gonna have anyone like that. I see something of a protege. I'd say that. Been hanging around here a while. Tempo saw some potential. How'd Tempo pull this operation off? Man's got a way of rallying people around him. Friends, allies, Uzi and underworld contacts. Doesn't go in for sleep much either.
Maybe he bottomed his way to the bottom.
Okay. I think the Weeping Eye have found me. The guy that worked for you, here in the bazaar. No, the prick, he's not full Weeping Eye. Just some errand boy they roped in. Still, one of our own taking bribes from the Eye. Removes the cigarette from his mouth and spits into the grey-green water. Okay. God, I've made loads of progress in like immediately. I think the game expected me. I obviously built quite well, so you can do it all backwards, but it expected me to do this all in the exact opposite order. Still, one of our own taking bribes from the Eye. Removes the cigarette from his mouth and spits into grey-green water. I think they wanted to get close to Tempo himself. Probably. Tempo was doing something in La Luz recently, something big. Lots of back and forth. Could be something to do with it. But as for why they're on your heel, I can only assume they know Tempo reached out to you.
A phantom hand across the precipice, awaiting a return grip.
You mean he reached out to Cascade?
He nods slowly. You catch an impression of his eyes as the light hits his sunglasses.
Why would you tell him your name? I mean, I chose that rather than Opera, but I know he's already clocked me, but like, doesn't necessarily know my code name, my cryptonym, whatever. Tempo was very specific. At least he was to me. Cascade or nothing. Wanted the opera. He wanted you. Okay, so he specifically did know the name Cascade. I choose to believe him. He lied when it was made sense to lie, and he's telling the truth where it makes sense to tell the truth.
A rough voice down a splintering phone line. No silly cunts. Cascade only. Person to person. Cascade or nothing.
And also it rings true because obviously there's no story if it doesn't link back to her original case.
Shards of both past and present collide. In the wreckage, a jagged pattern forms. 1. Tempo, Kryptonim taxman, your dormant asset. Contacts the opera. Intent unknown. Information unknown. Request. Meeting with operant Cascade. Only Cascade.
Motherfuckers.
2. Cascade status frozen. Duration in perpetuum. Opera issues directive. Dispatch lead operant to Portaferro.
Motherfuckers.
3. Pseudopod. Active in theatre. Assignment. Meet with taxman. Retrieve message. They wanted Pseudopod to become Tempo's new handler. You were just here to smooth the transition. 4. Pseudopod fails to meet with taxman. Requests Cascade from opera. 5. Timeline disrupted. Movements unknown. Pseudopod. Status changes to lost.
That's really cool. I like mentally doing it. And obviously I get to, in case I'd missed what happened during this conversation, it spells it out for me. You didn't deserve this, pseudopod.
6. Cascade. Status changes to reanimated. Operant arrives in theatre. Unbriefed. Unassigned. And...
in the midst of a dissociative episode.
questions coagulate, but at their center a truth catches the light. You knew it all along. One of your people reached out for you.
This is my assignment. Here's how I see it, or maybe how I don't. His voice refocuses you. Weeping eye, coming heavy, start cracking skulls. Tempo gets a wild look in his eye, follows it out the door. You two spirits appear out of nowhere, full of socks and half-stories, and now we're all jumping at shadows. I'm Rustamian, brought up to follow codes. I can't follow a code if I don't know what the fuck's going on. I'm sorry you're caught up in the middle here. Calling this the middle? Best laid plans. I was trying to slink around the edges, a short drag. Oh fuck! Take me to Tempo, let's go. It's our biggest problem. Tempo's gone, vanished. He unlatches the cigarette from his bottom lip. I don't know where he is now, but I can tell you where he was.
Innocent use of past tense, but still, you don't care for it.
That's his office up there. He nods to the northern part of the bazaar. Tempo HQ. It's been locked since he disappeared. No one in, no one out. Okay, I'm gonna make a prediction. Because obviously this is an espionage story, and these stories tend to follow patterns. And of course mystery stories follow patterns as well. There's mystery on mystery and on mystery. It's also the people who made Cisco Elysium. Not all of them, I understand that. My prediction is there was a plan by somebody, but there's also some coincidence that has fucked everything. I know that's quite vague. I'm trying to... like, some nobody has killed somebody important, and that's like been very difficult to track. Like he got in a bar argument. And so, like, players are now executing their various plans as if, like, there's a cross-faction war, whereas in fact something very small has happened that was poorly timed or poorly placed. That is my prediction. I'm glad I got to the meet. It's just really funny that I played for 3 hours and like got nowhere near it, and then like 10 minutes from starting I talked to a lady at the bazaar and it all immediately unravels. Any idea where he is? What happened to him? I'd rather leave the guesswork to others. Strong ethos, fair enough. I think so. Both fair and enough. Do you know anything about what Tempo wanted to tell me? I don't. Wasn't interested with it.
He was hoping you could make sense of it.
I don't want to give up too much information, but it's reasonable to keep him on side. He obviously didn't do the murder, and just like has been kind of fucked over by this situation by the sounds of it. But it was urgent. Extremely to hear Tempo tell it. He runs his palm across his jaw. Recently had many urgencies. Back on the blow. Oh. Back on the... Just read the line, John. You would have got it. Back on the blow, I fear.
So either under a lot of mental stress or seeing ghosts. This message could be critical. It could also be nothing but branches tapping a window pane.
Because we don't know if Tempo quit opera. Hang on. Tempo isn't an operative of opera. I just realised that's the pun there. Tempo was an asset. But either way, either Tempo has, used information he's gained from the relationship to suddenly become in charge of a crime empire, or local one, not really an empire, but you know what I mean. Or this is all higher stakes, and he's running it on behalf of Opera, because it could just be Opera themselves, or I don't know the factions well enough. Presumably not the Weeping Eye. I could do with a list of terms game. Look in our the quest for it. And realize lost. I'll have a look at those in a second. Okay. Loose ends. Strange noises are coming from the unmoored houseboat. Pylon engineer says line 9 will not be serviced anytime soon. Made a note of the call-in number of Bagman's TV show. This is just random other stuff, okay. Unassigned assignment. Asked Boatman about pseudopod. Pieced together what pseudopod did before you arrived. Tempo's office overlooks the bazaar. Tempo is missing. Tempo refused to speak with anyone but you. Tempo runs the bazaar these days. Read that in the wrong order, didn't I? Your controller, Mileta, tried to call off the assignment as your partner is incapacitated, but your gut tells you he was onto something. Find a good reason to stay on the job and you'll save yourself from professional obsolescence. What's wrong with pseudopod? Boatman did not give the disc to pseudopod. There was no sound on the disc, but listening to it felt strange. Your double was listening to a red disc marked ultravioletta. You but from a dream in the music player at photo 24. Found him in a chair without any trousers on, unresponsive and helpless. I mean, he was drying his, he was steaming his trousers. Check out the Arsenal creep, the aerial creep. The garment vendor Carmona is convinced the strange man on the pylon south of the bazaar is creeping. Look into the matter for her. Cool. I still don't quite understand what I did here. Credit and debit the sinister twins haunting your household. Don't worry, they're not real until they hit the balance sheet. Just movements in the dark. So grey matter skill potential has gone up. Cold read potential has gone up. But I've gained advanced foreboding status effect when anxious. But I lose reinforce effects if okay. Or I gain intellect disadvantage when purchasing cigarettes, alcohol, or coffee. Oh, the reinforced effects are above. Okay, so I will lose these and gain intellect disadvantage if I purchase cigarettes, alcohol, or coffee. So I can very easily just not do that. The quest for it. No chemical, technological, or therapeutic intervention could aid you on this dangerous metaphysical journey. In the Manos Fati, about to pluck you from the obscurity or flick you clean off the board. Statehood skill potential +1, shadow play skill +1. Assess whether you or others have it. If I fail any red checks, I will gain relation disadvantage. Okay, what? I get that. Yeah, okay. Relation is... I think I know what disadvantage means. That's a bad dice. Failing red checks. Eternal victim. A kitchen's worth of knives in your back. A kitchen-sized bone from the universe. It's not really supposed to be this hard, is it? Nerve skill up. Entanglement up. Too young to spy option is available in the gameplay settings menu. That's really funny. You can just turn the difficulty down. And if I choose a hardcore option, I lose that. Hardcore to the mega. I don't actually need anything reinforced, like, because I've not got anything high enough. What is? How do I tell my maximum? 4. That's, yeah, nothing's near the maximum, so I don't really need to risk putting something up. Advanced foreboding would be useful though. Assess whether you or others have it. I like that. That gives me a funny option. Okay, well, let's do that one. Not loud. What does white trigger do? Just lets me see a cool picture. Okay, that was a very cool picture. I don't seem to be able to condition. No, I have a space right there. When did you last see him? A week or so back. Since then, nothing. Why haven't you been inside? Because it's locked.
And from the other side, only silence.
What if our man's been in there the whole time, in need of help? He's not. Person in place, misaligned. Casts her hands around the bazaar. Wherever he is, he's not here.
A hollow centre, expanding with every passing hour.
Get in that office. When you're done... When you're done... He repeats. Did you hear anything about an unmoored boat out here? Surprised you did. Got some of the local sailors scared. What spooked them? Not sure. One man, trustworthy guy, reckons he saw something thrashing about round the cabin. A beast, he said.
A jolt of fear snaps through you, writing itself across your face.
Sad, he's got it.
Unclear if he noticed. He sniffs idly, rolling the cigarette between his lips.
But you haven't seen the unmoored boat yourself. What do you think it is? I'd like to guess. Might be another drunkard's tale. Sea's got plenty of those. What's your favourite sailor's tale? Ah, why not? Ever heard of Kuruk's Fold?
One of 8 great trenches in the mapped world. Its edges run from the Telmar Gulf to the Lio Aran Sea. Conservative estimates suggest a depth of 12,000 meters.
Sure. There's a shadow in the depths, he shrugs. Bigger than any ship. Sailor diaries and logbooks stretching back centuries mention it. Different tongues, same stories. Could be a massive coral ridge, maybe a large guyot. The reports I know of agree on 2 things. First, the shadows move. Could be a whale, of course, or deep sea squid. Those cover noticeable distances. Whatever's down there doesn't. The second thing, some sailors swear they've seen lights far below. Not always, when the sea's dark enough. Double gun. Yeah, the lights have their own pattern too. They blink. What do you think's down there? Us Tamian folklore calls it the deep mason. Giant of sorts. Protector. He smiles. I doubt that's it, but it's the image I grew up with. Anyway, stories are stories. Whatever's on unmoored boats, probably a lot more mundane. Got questions about you. Actually, I don't.
He lowers his head in brief salute.
Cool. Well, that was a very productive conversation. As the tide ebbs, more of a sunken statue's face reveals itself. Couple of discs from artists you've never heard of?
Off-brand drivers, cheap plastic housing.
The man gazes down at a crate of cartridge discs, eyes narrowed, lips drawn.
Mass-produced excrement. These animals pleasure themselves in it.
Who's pleasuring themselves?
Collectors, art students, tourists, tote bag owners, the whole dim herd. You see this? Each one guaranteed for 10,000 replays. Obscene.
No one will ever get it the way he does.
But I might if I could be allowed to get it. Let me get it. It's a waste of my time. Get to red check. Are you talking about music?
I'm talking about cultural ephemera.
Ah, culture. Your speciality, I'm guessing. Gesture around his media store.
Speciality. But as you can see, I spend my days backed into a corner, hopelessly outnumbered by the dead-eyed horde, dreaming of format-assisted auto-annihilation.
Can I turn the voices up? No, but I can turn everything else down. I have serious questions, not about this stuff.
Every day, I come out here to share the joy of rare media with discerning customers. And instead, every day, they shove my face in the dog bowl of ignorance and banality. Evidently, you're another one. I'll prepare the bowl.
He would not put it past this man to have a crop dog bone to hand.
Please do, I'll prime my shoving hand.
Very funny.
Mime an up and down shoving motion with your hand.
It's the same joke again. Twice as limp. Typical replayer symptom.
No entries found under replayer. Filing under insults, incomprehensible.
Go ahead. Browse away. My name's Petre. If you need anything, I'll be here. Lamenting what's left of the culture.
What is left of the culture?
Culture? Portofera? Scrapped. This new Lucian mania is all-consuming. Nobody wants anything that isn't techno-fascist trash, including, apparently, their own souls.
I see. Seems I'm surrounded by techno-fascists.
That would be preferable to the truth of things. There is no politics to it that they can see. They just want something they can idiotize themselves with. You'd think we had run out of brick walls. I take it this means Luz hasn't managed to make it into wherever you're from. Good for you.
What was Portofero's culture like before the Lusian mania?
Provincial, but honest. Silk, sad national poetry. Music, the same kinds they play in the so-called developed world, except a couple decades late and desperately effortful.
Incapable of competing with Lusian media on the most basic neurological level.
That sounds nice.
Yes, exactly. Nice.
He's the format fetishist.
That's why I'll be here, enjoying the front row seat to the downfall of culture. That is my punishment.
Punishment for what?
Taste.
So, business is good?
Interminable. Every day there's new format, category, each one more depraved than the last. Of course, I can't say that out loud. Customer, you know?
What's a replayer?
Picture a dog that shits, then eats it, then shits again. That should give you some idea.
Excuse me?
People of what they consume. I'll say no more.
It's less an opinion, more of a criminal sentence.
You hate everyone who likes to enjoy something more than once.
Oh, there's no sense in hating baser life forms. They know not what they do. I'm a man of peace. I haven't met a customer in a very long time who even knows what an Einzelton XR is, let alone appreciates the format. Tells you all you need to know about the current state of the home media world.
It raises an intimidating question.
What's Einzelton?
Einzelton XR, to give it its proper title. The one true format.
You save us the words.
The apex of auditory technology. A high fidelity yet dynamic sonic experience that self-effaces after a single play.
Oh, I see. It's fucking useless.
Behold, the paladin who stands before absurdity and declares, well, technically.
What does it erase itself?
A magnet embedded in the disc erases its contents as it's being listened to.
A technological muscle flex. Reproduction and erasure just millimeters away in space. Milliseconds in time. Crucially, such a process would result in an empty disk, like the one you found on Pseudopod's body.
Yes.
As in life, everything happens only once. Replayability is oblivion. The end.
You can only play these things once.
Correct. It erases acid plays. The inherent idea being, of course, that you never play an Einzelton and have a more profound experience because of it. Some say that was the intention behind the red color scheme. A warning, so you would never misplay it. I think it was an aesthetic choice, personally.
Did he say red?
I think you did, yes.
With Einzelton XR, the first time is the only time.
That's the brand slogan.
What happens to the Einzelton disc once its contents are erased?
It loses its resale value, and the uninspired replayer who listened to it loses a piece of their soul.
I want to make sure my chair isn't about to break. How big of a piece? Enough to efface their personality?
Oh, yes. Completely. Though they'd have to have been pretty soulless to play it in the first place.
Mystery solved. Pseudopod listened to a priceless tape and lost his soul.
What does the XR stand for?
X remnants. Zero remnants.
Pretty esoteric term we got here. Just roll with it.
Remnants?
The aftermath of a magnetic charge once you take the field away. The Einzelton magnets are so potent that the erasure is absolute. The X is meant to represent the negative, the complete absence of sound or visual. This was a very conceptual time for storage media, you understand.
Quarter zero at the break of the 60s. A teenage boy sits on his bed and gazes at a full-page magazine ad for a brand new single-play format. The crimson of the disc spellbinds him. Excited thumbs leave sweat prints on the page. Below the spotlit red disc in bold-faced text, with Einzelton XR, the first time is the only time. The boy's lips trace the words in awe.
It was a very beautiful time, too.
Is this an Einzelton disc by any chance?
Einzelton XR.
For a moment, all expression drains from his face.
Where did you get this?
Toxic matter.
Einzelton hasn't been available to consumers for a decade. A disc in good condition is for thousands of sold to people who appreciate its wonders.
This one's already been played.
You played it?
Petra, I would never. But someone else did.
Filthy animals. Those. Better they recalled them all years ago. Better a mass manufacturing fault than this. To save them from this humiliation from being passed around like...
The vendor deflates before you.
I'm sorry.
He gets out finally.